What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. And we're joined here by Mike the Jeweler, correct? We need to turn Mike's mic on.
If you guys could just
1, 2, 1, 2.
There we go.
Testing.
All
Yeah,
right.
There we go.
Right.
So, man, let's jump straight into it, man. How does one become a jeweler? You look so young. How'd you become a designer of jewelry to the stars, man?
Well, it's a family business.
Okay.
It's Brandon's dad's company, and he's had the business for over 30 years. And Brandon and I have been friends for the past 6, 7 years, and he's always been trying to get me into jewelry. I've always been good in sales, and I just locked in with him about 3 years ago, started doing the little things. I started setting and polishing, learning the ins and outs of jewelry. And during the pandemic, ironically, a lot of businesses were like closing down, but we actually started growing more. We started out doing a bunch of jewelry for other jewelers across the country. And during the pandemic, we just started, creating our own lane, making our own bust-down pieces. And if you look on our page, you'll see a whole bunch of celebrities that we work with, a whole bunch of watches.
For those that don't know, bust-down pieces means?
Like pendants, watches, anything with a lot of diamonds on it, anything super flashy. Anytime you see like a rapper with, a lot of diamonds on it, that's typically where we at with it.
Okay. So how'd the relationship with Regis Prograde come about, and how'd you end up making the Ragaroos, piece?
Well, honestly, to be honest with you, I DM'd him on Instagram, and along with that, I also work with a football player down in New Orleans that also has ties to him as well. So just those two connections kind of locked us in with him, and we went down there. We visited him. He's a real cool dude, real chill dude, very, very chill. I have to say, Regis is a real humble guy. His whole team is very cool. Brought me to his house, and we locked things in, and that was that. History is there.
So how'd the design come about? Let me get a screen share, fellas.
Yeah, so if you look, that's his logo right there.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to do something real nice for him, but nothing crazy flashy. I know he's not a flashy guy, but he wants it to look real good and real nice. And we took his logo, turned it into a pendant, and we thought that fits him. We put pear-shaped diamonds in the eyes. No one's rocking pear-shaped diamonds on anything really. So we just wanted to do something a little different, switch up the game a little bit, shake things up.
So what other fighters have you worked with?
Currently right now, Chris Arreola.
Okay.
Troy Isley. I was just at the
We're good, fellas.
Ortiz and Lomachenko fight. I would love to get your thoughts on that later on.
The fight?
The Ortiz and Lomachenko fight, yeah.
You work with Jermaine as well, correct?
Yeah. Also work with Jermaine Ortiz as well.
Ortiz. Yo, he been looking like a bag of money since the fight. Let me tell you, I saw he was just at the Celtics game, and had the little ice on. Shout out to Jermaine. Been looking like a bag of money since
he's
the
a
fight.
cool dude.
Since the fight. That's crazy. So you were able to establish a relationship starting with a DM with Regis.
Yeah.
Has there been any other celebrities, sports or music, regardless, that you've just reached out to via DM or email or whatever, and they've actually got back? And
Yeah, a bunch of NFL players, honestly, and the more pieces we come out with is the more and more they trust us and see our work. And honestly, like I said before, we've done a bunch of jewelry for a whole bunch of other jewelers, like the biggest names you can think of.
How's that work? Like, because I'm not in the jewelry business, so why would I reach out to my competitor to help me with something? Is it because you're able to do something I can, or how does that work?
There's a bunch of different things that go into it, as far as like diamonds, the cost of labor to create any piece. I'll put it to you like this: to get one item done, you have to go to like 6 to 9 different people. So it does tend to get very expensive. And with us, like, we do everything in house from the start to finish, from the design to catting to polishing to setting. We do everything in house, so it makes it more easy for other jewelers to come work with us because. Like I said, we do everything in-house, and we're super fast with everything,
Another thing is that a lot of jewelers, they like to go overseas. And when they go overseas, they have no control of anything. because that's why you see all these basic people doing very basic pieces. You know, they're like, I want to get my name. There's no thought in it. They're like, all right, cool. What's the name? How big you want it? This is the font, and that's that.
Yeah.
You know, like we try not to do that because every piece counts, and we're trying to make a statement, because that's at the end of the day why somebody's gonna get jewelry, is to make a statement.
Yeah.
You know, you want, like, we always tell people, like, we want to make sure that you get a piece so that when you walk into a room, the other guy that's wearing a piece feels like he's like gonna tuck in his chain, because like, why does my piece not look like that? My piece looks like everybody else's pieces.
Speaking of pieces, I can't find the Ortiz one. Is it on your page?
No, it's not. We're in the process of making it right now.
Okay.
We're currently working on his, Chris Ariola's, and Troy Isley.
Oh wow, Troy already getting one.
Yeah.
Nice. What he's going with? His name?
Um,
Oh, you're not
I
allowed?
don't want to say yet. I don't want to say yet, but it's gonna be dope. It's definitely gonna shake things up in the jewelry game for sure.
Nice, nice. So Brandon, right?
Yep.
So this is your family's business?
Yep.
Did you always want to get into it, or kind of it's something that, I don't know?
You kind of just fell into.
I mean, I started doing women's jewelry, like fine jewelry stuff, because that's actually our specialty, with stuff that you see like in high end. So we've done pieces for, like, you know, Justin Bieber, Michael Jordan, the Clintons, but we're the back end people. So really, like he said, during the pandemic, it just, the hip hop jewelry thing just kind of happened. You know, you meet one person that introduces you to another person, and then it just blows up out of proportion. So like, really, Mike is the sports guy. I deal more so with, like, you know, the trappers and hip hop people. That's more so my lane. So it turns into a lot, but the real thing is just connections and really knowing how to, like, make the piece happen, because it's like 1,000 different pieces coming to make one thing.
Where are you in New York? Is it Canal, or you're not?
Nah. That's where all the fake stuff is. We're in the Diamond District in Midtown.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
that's crazy, because there's another jeweler that I know that, like you said, was focusing specifically on fine jewelry, and then, you know, the opportunity came about around the pandemic.
Yep.
To get into, you know, like the custom pieces and the bust downs and things like that. And, you know, they just recently got into it after like 40 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's because during the pandemic, they like to say it's the bandemic.
Yo, I mean, yeah, Trump was throwing out money left and right with PPPs. Everybody was getting good. And yo, the clubs, it's crazy. I remember going to a club in Newark.
Yeah.
Not in New York, in Newark.
Yeah.
Like a little, bro, it was like everybody in there had a piece on their neck.
Yeah, and everybody had a bag during that time. All the sections were full.
Yup.
And now if you go over there, it's like empty. It's a different type of energy going on.
Money ran out. So has that impacted business for you guys at all, or what have you seen come from that?
I'd say more so it's just you have to pivot like anything else. You know, like we don't really try to rely too much on a certain type of clientele. You know, you try to have different types of people. So right now, like, you know, like Mike is mainly dealing with the athletes. You know, athletes they always want to look good. They're always in the limelight. You know, it's just about connecting with certain people. Like right now, I got a piece coming out with A-Rap Music.
Okay.
So he's getting right. And then just a couple other people that, you know, aren't really out there, but they're in the streets and they're always getting money.
Yo, I was gonna say, for you, Mike, who do you notice with the athletes that maybe tends to want to ball out and maybe tends to want to hold back a bit more? Is there a specific sport of athlete? Because I feel like some of these football guys keep it a bit more subtle, because it's like they don't really know you outside of your helmet.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like some of the football guys keep it more subtle. What do you feel?
I think it's a mix, man. There's some football players that I've met. So a little background story on me. I played football in high school and college, so I've always been into the game. And so most people won't know a player seeing them in person. They only can tell by their jersey and them in the helmet. I know what they look like. You know what I mean? So there's some NFL players that I work with that like to keep it calm. Some guys like to be flashy. They want to make a statement in the room and shake things up.
So how long have you been dealing with athletes?
I would would say about the past 2 years. Past 2 years since the pandemic, we've been dealing with them.
So why branch into athletes?
It's well, you got to be versatile. You got to. I would like to. I want to be the biggest jeweler in the States. We really do. That's our number one goal. We want to crush it, and we want to work with everybody. You don't even have to be an athlete. Whether you're a businessman, real estate, doesn't matter. Whatever we make for you should represent you. You know, people should see a piece and could already tell like the type of person you are by seeing your piece.
You guys are more in sales though, right? Like you're not actually the jeweler that's setting the stones and stuff like that, right?
I mean, it's because you have to remember it's a lot of different things, you know. So it's phone calls trying to get diamonds. Like when we're doing bust down pieces, like for example a chain or a watch or something. Everybody thinks that it's a quick thing, but you're talking about getting thousands of different stones. You got to then drill the stone. If you're doing a custom piece, you got to get a design. It's talking to the person that wants to get it, getting it perfect, quality control. It's a ton of different things. Like, granted, we do different things. Like, we do work on like the design in the CAD. You know, I know how to make it into gold. I know how to set stones, but my time is better spent, doing other things, trying to make everything else happen, putting the things together.
I get you, man. I mean, your youth, I would assume it's better served doing what you're doing, talking to the potential customers and bringing them in, locking them in for sure.
So I'm curious, man, like with you and your family being in the business for so long, what was it in Mike that you saw that you reached out and wanted to get him involved in what you guys got going?
Honestly, it's just me and him, we used to work together. And
Okay.
he does sales, and we would always talk about sales. We would always talk about like bagging girls and stuff like that. And so like that in itself it would always tell me like, you're a people person. I'd always tell him like, you're gonna be really good at being able to sell somebody on something, but more so it's because you're personable. Because jewelry is more so about personable. Because you can get jewelry from anywhere, but it's about people buy into you.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, this guy is a fanatic when it comes to sports. Like, he's the only guy I know that he'll start naming all these people in multiple different sports. And I'm looking at him like, I need you to just tell me who's the jersey, who's the guy exactly. Point them out to me.
So have you guys had anybody, since you guys have been doing business together, have you guys had anybody that some jewelers call it like gave you a green light? Like, there is no limit, but this is what I want. Go ahead and produce it for me.
I actually have one guy right now that we're waiting on him. But that's what he's looking to get is a green light. He's trying to get like a crazy big pendant that's going to move around. And, hopefully everything goes through. But assuming that it does, it's going to be a piece that nobody's ever done. Because it's going to be a piece that's like literally a piece that we have to engineer. We have to put a mechanism in it. It's gonna have a button that you can push so that it moves around by itself and stuff like that. So it's going to be a piece that nobody's ever done. And it's really going to change the way everybody looks at jewelry.
Would that be the craziest piece you've done to date, would you say?
Yeah, it would be.
Who is your ideal customer? Is there a specific person you want to work with? Like, I want to make a chain for Jake Paul, or fill in the blank. I want to make.
Do you have a dream customer that you would like to make a piece for?
A dream customer. I'm trying to, honestly, it's just it's not more so that, it's more so I want to make the craziest piece. Because every piece I just want it to look different. That's why people tend to come to us. Is because when they get a piece, it's really going to be different than anywhere else. And so for me, it's more so about the piece itself. I like it when people have these crazy ideas. Like this guy that I'm talking about, that he wants to get this crazy piece. I remember the biggest thing he told me that stuck to me was he's like, you know what? I want to leave the club and I want to charge my piece. When he told me that, I'm like, I'm going to do it. I don't care what I need to do, what I got to figure out. I'm going to make that happen so that you can go and you can tell whoever you got to tell. Yo, I got to go soon. I got to charge my piece.
Yo, that's
gotta
crazy.
plug that in.
Is it gonna get corny if you start putting lights on it?
Nah, nothing gets corny if you know how to do it the right way.
Cause I could see now that you got power, some neons is always official.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you asked that though, Nez, because I saw somebody talk about, it was around during the pandemic, the glow in the dark.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, yo, that sounds pretty corny. And I've seen some pieces that don't look good, but I have seen some pieces that are glow in the dark that look phenomenal. And I really just think that it's how it's being done, the quality of the work, really.
Yeah.
It's all about execution.
I gotta ask, because even though there's competitors, there's people that I feel have laid the groundwork, have done the legwork, and have been trendsetters in everything. So for you, who are some of the jewelers that you look at, like, they've been one of the top jewelers in the game, or somebody that you take off your hat to?
I mean, it's got to be the obvious one, Elliot.
Okay.
He's got those crazy pieces that really make you be like, wow.
Yeah, Elliot's been doing. So you think anybody outside of New York? Really just him?
I'd say really just him. He's like the main one because his pieces are just the ones that really have wowed me. Like I've don't get me wrong, there are other jewelers that I see they have a couple pieces here and there, but him consistently, it's wow pieces. And he's really thinks outside the box in terms of what people might want, or what is gonna make it a different type of thing. Because it's all about being different.
Yeah, no, I've definitely. I mean, he's worked with the Migos, with Cardi, with some of the biggest names. So not being in the jewelry world, and I don't, I'm not really a jewelry guy, but I've came across some of his videos, some of those green light pieces where he's spending $500,000, and the pieces are just ridiculous.
What about the guy from Texas? He's done a lot of pieces for people in boxing.
Johnny Dang.
Yeah. Johnny's for teeth. He's the teeth guy.
You talking about?
I mean, he's gotten everybody chains and watches too. But I guess he specializes in
the grills, down in Houston.
Anybody that gets jewelry, one thing that they always say is they're always trying to get teeth from Johnny. That's like his stamp. He's got that one part of jewelry on lock.
And it's crazy because it's one thing, but he has evolved that one thing so much.
Yeah. Like,
I've seen some grills that he's done with the just different types of cuts, and I'm like, bro, that looks insane.
Yep.
Like, I know he just did a grill not that long ago for Quavo where it was like all emeralds.
Yeah, first of its kind.
And I think they were saying like it was like 35 to 40,000 a tooth.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Balling.
So,
Mike, is there a specific athlete you're hoping to bag?
Not really, to be honest with you. I could name a bunch off the top of my head, but I'd say Devin Haney, Tank. I'm working with one of their guys. What?
Those guys specifically, why them? Because of their social media, their popularity, or what you think residually will come from doing a piece for them?
No, more so mainly the ideas I have for them.
So it's specific to them.
Specifically for them, yeah. Specifically for them. I would say them, Michael Vick. I have something in store for Michael Vick. If I ever get a chance to meet him. And off the top of my head, those guys right now.
Yo, that's funny. And as far as Devin and Tank, I think those are two of the leaders in the jewelry, in the boxing business.
Yeah.
Leaders? You mean for the young generation?
Yeah, the fighters fighting. Like Floyd is his own thing. I'm talking about active fighters, that we see just in the game right now. Those are two that are, gonna have some nice jewelry on more often than not. Yeah. Right? More often than not. But it's funny because I was gonna ask you, have you ever approached somebody with an idea like, yo, I know I ain't did nothing for you yet, but look, this is what I got in mind, because you said you have ideas for.
Yeah, actually that did happen. I bumped into, luckily I live in New York City, so I get to bump into a bunch of people, to a player that used to play for the Jets. He's now currently on the Giants, Jason Pinnock. I had an idea for a ring for him. And it's, again, going back to what you guys had asked before, he's not too much of a flashy guy, but he wants something stylish, something that goes with everything. And I came up with an idea for him, kind of like a Cartier Panther ring for him, but we had our own little twist to it.
Okay.
So you said you wanted to get back to Jermaine Ortiz and Loma fight, right?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts?
Oh, I was there at the fight, man, and I don't see Lomachenko winning that fight at all. I say, in my eyes, clearly, Jermaine clearly had the first 7 rounds.
Wow.
8, 9, debatable. 8, 9, 10, debatable. 11, and
7
12.
straight.
7 straight. 7 straight. I give to Ortiz. Not even trying to be biased or anything, but I was there at the fight, and I'm like,
Wow.
there's no the cards, the scorecards I thought was bugged out to me. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
the
believe,
scorecards I thought were bugged out.
yeah.
You know, I don't know that he got the 7 straight.
Yeah,
I
that's-
definitely believe it was a very close fight.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just be honest with you. I understand the business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, they're not gonna give it to Jermaine.
Yeah.
Like Jermaine had to knock Lomachenko out.
In order, and,
You know,
yeah.
But I definitely thought it was a close fight, and the scorecards were disrespectful. You know, I think there was one that had it 7-5. You know, it was unanimous nonetheless, but 7-5, and it was like, okay, cool, that's close.
Yeah.
You know, at least that's close. But there wasn't even a draw, like nothing in Jermaine's favor.
Right.
You know, I think that the performance he put up though, he's gonna like he put
Amazing
up.
performance,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was an amazing performance, and he's coming back. You
Yeah.
know, what up, Ness?
I'm just going over the scorecard. It's impossible to give him 7 straight.
Yeah. Well, okay. What rounds? What would you give him? What'd you score it?
I mean,
Bro, the thing is
definitely you give him 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
3 is a swing round.
Okay.
4 Ortiz round.
Okay.
5, 6. So those are Vasil rounds. He came on, but 7 is a swing round.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could have gone either way in that round.
Okay. All right.
8 Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else,
Okay.
Loma. He closed the show, bro. Jermaine, like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe gassed, maybe, you know, the anxiety of being on a big stage.
Right. Right.
But you think he closed the show? Because you said first 7, which automatically gives you the win.
Right.
So maybe you didn't care that he didn't close the show.
No, I wanted him to close the show very much like what Tio did. I think that was very important in order to get the judge's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he could have done a better job with doing that. But yeah, all right. So he didn't win the first 7 rounds. Okay, all right.
Yo, but bro, he was gonna need a lot, like.
To get the win.
Yeah.
Wow, what was the official scorecards?
I mean, one judge had
It
it
was like 117 to like
exactly.
wow.
92 or something like
Yeah,
that.
So
no,
that's
one-
9-3.
Yeah, so one judge had it 117, 111. That's 9-3. One judge had it 116, 112. That's 8-4.
But
It-
9-3's not bad, bro.
Uh-huh.
9-3. Let me tell you that it's an 8-4 fight.
Okay.
Like Ortiz legit got 4 rounds. Like, you know, the rest are swing. You got to debate, did he get that 7? Because that's a tight round. Even let's say the 6th round could be maybe argued. But like definitive rounds, he only got 4. So a judge seeing that he only got 3, you know, that ain't that bad.
Yeah.
It just sound bad when you say 117.
So how'd you score it? Because I definitely ain't see it 9-3. So
I scored an 8-4. I'm going on my card.
Okay.
I scored an 8-4.
Okay.
You know, I got the digital card, so I keep them on deck. But
see,
like,
and the thing, so we were out of town for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember it was like I watched the first half live,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were there. We was in Arizona for the Jake Paul fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like all our focus went to that, and then I came
had
back.
to go back and watch it
Yeah,
though,
so
because everybody was talking about robbery.
Right.
So I came back to watch it, but I picked up where I left off,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was bad because it was
Oh, look,
like
they saying I'm smoking in the live chat. I ain't see more than 4 definitive rounds, man. Like, it's one thing to win a round, is one thing to be like, I think he won that round. Like, we just seen a fight. I think it was Tarver or somebody famous just scored 2 rounds. Matter of fact, David Hay, he just scored 2 rounds this weekend, 10-10. You can't do that shit. So I could do that and be like, yeah, I scored 6 rounds for Ortiz, but then I also scored 10 rounds for fucking Vasil. It won't be fair. So, yeah, to me, it was
some people-
solid rounds. I say 4, arguably
Definitive. Yeah.
You know, then there's that 2 swing rounds.
Okay.
And
See-
yeah, look, they're like, oh, so all the swing rounds went to Vasil, but yeah,
That's how the business goes.
That's how this sport goes.
That's how it goes.
3-time champion. He's the one on the pound for pound list. He's the one we even hit to see.
Bro,
we don't know
look,
Jermaine.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even have Lomachenko on my pound for pound list.
Me
Like, he's
neither.
a good fighter. I still think.
But
No, I don't even think he's elite anymore. I'm gonna just say it. I don't even think he's elite.
no, he's
anymore.
elite. He's elite.
elite.
I think he's
elite.
just good.
I mean,
No,
look,
he's
look at
elite.
what he did to
'Cause he's
Nakatani and the
beaten,
co-man.
He's beaten 98% of the other. You know what I'm saying? It's just the top 1-2%.
Yeah.
And remember
Yeah.
that,
Okay,
that,
so let me
that
ask you
he
this
only
question.
got like 2 fighters on his resume that no one knows. Other than that, everybody else is someone. Like
Somebody
decent-
we know.
a decent someone.
I will
Okay.
say this though. I will say this. You know, and I got a lot of respect and admiration for Jermaine. And he was in town when the negotiations was going on. Like we had him on the show,
Right.
and he asked me, he's like, "How much you think I should take?" And I was like, "What you get for Jamel?" Okay. I was like, I told him, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what they offer." I'm like, "Cool." I think somebody like Jermaine right there, he in a win-win, right? He's in a win-win where even though he didn't get the win, he still won.
Yeah, boosted up his stock.
People that know the business, they
I don't think so.
I,
You don't think so?
I think so.
You don't think his stock got boosted?
His stock probably raised a couple
Right.
cents, but it ain't
Nah,
get boosted.
no, it
the
got-
word boosted is
It
like
got
what
boosted.
happened to Isaac Cruz, what happened to Rolly after they lost.
No, see that's becoming that they became like stars in a sense off a loss.
Stars, yes.
Hard
but
to
these-
say stars because, you know, the star is the one that can sell on pay-per-view, which is Tank. Those guys, they're burning bright because of their loss and how they lost.
Yeah, I don't know. I think everybody the way you just gotta remember, champ, after the fight, it was like the world, the people that didn't believe, everybody's like, oh yeah, that's easy work now for Devin. Like Jermaine let it be known, yo, the TO thing was not, yo, he's not like that anymore.
See,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
it's-
And I think that I don't know if it's like just stepping to him that people not showing them the respect that they used to. I don't know. I still think he's a talent, but I just understand the business, bro. Like to me, when we telling somebody from his promotional company like, yo, Loma's not even a ticket seller. Why do y'all love him? Oh, he's a sponsorship seller. You know what I'm saying? He brings us TV dollars. He does. So it's like Jermaine, I knew. I told him, I'm like, you can't show him no respect because I knew it was like he was not there to win. Jermaine was not there to win. Jermaine was there for Loma to get back, but he surprised a lot of people, and I think that's why his stock did rise.
Right.
Because he surprised a lot of people. I think he showed a lot of people that it wasn't just the Jamel fight, that he's really
I'm not running with none of that shit. He got 0 offers off that.
Really?
bro. The fight just took place.
I wouldn't care.
You would've put
Rolly and the other dude, Isak, they just fought whenever they fought Tank, and they had Ryan was on Isak the month after. Like, I want to fight you now.
Okay, and it's been a month.
All right.
All right, so
Ain't
you know what
nobody
I'm saying,
offering
bro?
ain't
It was-
nobody offering Jermaine
bro,
nothing.
if
we
bro,
ain't
I'm
hit-
just
we ain't
saying,
hit his
bro,
name
you
about
didn't
nothing.
You got to think about it though, champ. For one, the fight just took place, right? For one,
Ain't we talking about Devin
for
and
two,
Vasil?
for two,
We talking about Devin and Vasil.
yeah, because
But we're not as excited as we were before.
But we're talking about it. We knew that after Jermaine and Vasil, Devin and Vasil was next. So what's next for Jermaine? If he getting some sort of, he ain't getting nothing. I'm just being. I'm Dominican. Now he ain't getting nothing.
Bro, you trying to compare it to what the tank effect?
Because
I'm just saying, it's not the tank effect.
Yeah,
like,
all he did was get a little, they switched the light switch or some shit, but he ain't like a burning, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't none of that. It ain't Isaac, and it's not Rolly, And let's be real, it's not even Diego Chavez. Diego Chavez lost to Thurman and got a fucking Rios and a Bradley fight.
See, and you know the sad thing is, you said Diego Chavez, and I thought that was the dude that T.O. knocked out, that he did the shovel thing.
No, you talking about Diego Magdaleno.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy. See, and you talking about it ain't even Diego Chavez. I don't even know who Diego Chavez is.
Because you, no disrespect, but you know, the year you started watching boxing, but like at the proof is in the pudding. If I lose to Keith Thurman and I can get a dude that's been in the ring with Pacquiao 3 times, then another dude that was in the Pacquiao fight too.
But that's what I'm saying,
My
bro.
stardom
Jermaine,
went
I
out
don't know.
the fucking roof.
So you still have Lomachenko's at top 10 now? You really
at
still have-
35?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
Well, not at 35, just in general. Top 10 in general.
Pound for pound.
Top 10 pound for pound?
Top 10 pound for
I
pound.
don't really get into that because that shit fake. It's like I gotta make believe Lomachenko was a heavyweight or make believe he's a middle. I don't want to do that.
Okay,
That shit is corny to me.
Okay.
I give accolades. So like, you asked me, is Devin on a pound for pound? Yeah, because he undisputed.
Right.
You know,
right.
was Loma on the list once upon a time? Yeah, when he was, you know, unified and multiple division champ. But right now, you lost.
Cause
Like,
see, I think that you and I are in agreement. Boxing is a what have you done for me lately?
absolutely.
You get what I'm saying, bro? I don't want to hear about what you did 3 years ago.
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna be honest
Right.
with you. Like that's
It's
old
what have
shit.
you done for me
Right, that's old,
today?
yeah.
Old
I agree,
shit
I
because
agree.
it's a business. You know, it is a business, so it's like, bro, you talking about old money, bro? I've been spent that.
Yeah.
What about now? Pandemic money ran out. What about now? You get what I'm saying? So it's what have you done for me lately? Lomachenko was there once upon a time to me.
He's not.
You know, he's not anymore. But
after
he's,
you lose, you can't just go back and beat Richard Comey and Nakatani. Oh, you pound for pound. Nah, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, you got to go beat champions.
Right.
You got to go unify. You got to go undisputed to get back on the list. You don't get back on the list based off your old accomplishments or what you've done in the past.
And even
we
off,
already ranked you for that.
And even off beating Jermaine, it's like, bro, like Jermaine, cool. Like
Yeah.
Jermaine's a very good fighter, but it was like that win was not enough to put him back there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? He would have to be one of those top
Jermaine's
guys.
never been the world champ, so it's like you beat a contender.
Yeah.
You didn't beat a champion. There's not much we can raise him on that list. So,
Right. Okay. All right.
what's your thoughts on Tank and Shakur? You think that ever happens? And if it does, who you picking?
Tank and Shakur. If it does happen, I will. Respectfully, I'm going to go with Shakur. Respectfully, because I think Tank has a problem with bigger, rangier fighters. He got touched up a bit with Leo, got touched up a bit with Barrios. Tank is still dangerous. I'm not trying to take anything away from him because if he catches you, it's over. It's lights out. And I do believe if he catches Shakur with a few flush hits, it may be lights out for Shakur. And the same with Devin. I just think Devin and Shakur is sorry to put Devin into it.
Nah, he's into it. They've been back and forth on Twitter, and they've crossed some lines with some of the disrespectful stuff they said to each other.
And they have the history, they have the history
Right.
there. I got a picture of Devin and Tank in 2018. And at that moment, they was trying to settle the beef.
Yeah.
And that was 2018.
Yeah.
We about to be in 2023. So, they all got history, and it's I think it's dope to see because it seems like for once all the top guys, young top guys want to fight each other.
Yeah. Agreed. I just think because of their defense and how rangy they are, I think they got it over Tank. I easily see exactly how the fight with Devin Haney and Kambosos went when he kept him out of range. Anytime Kambosos kept coming in, he clinched him. I think it will play out the same way with Shakur and Devin against Tank. I think it will play out just like that.
I could see that happening, but it's not like we haven't. I feel like Devin has been getting hit a little bit more than Shakur. And, Tank is explosive, man. When he does land, he lands, man.
He does.
They're dangerous shots. He's going to have to be perfect for the whole 12 rounds. So you're not into boxing like that, Brandon?
He's been getting me into boxing.
Yeah, I've been putting him on.
I'd say like the past couple months, I started watching boxing here and there. I've been watching a lot more.
Has any particular fighter caught your interest? Like you saw them fight, you're like, okay, like this guy's pretty good, or this girl's pretty good.
Tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Rolly fight was that the first fight?
We went to that fight. Yeah,
that was a fight?
that's one of the Barclays. Yeah,
Yo, I was there.
yeah, electrifying.
Let me tell you, first and only fight I've ever covered at the Barclays, which is kind of crazy because, you know, I've covered fights at a lot of venues.
Yeah,
That was different.
fire.
Oh my God. I love fights in New York.
Yeah, me too.
I love fights in New York.
So that was your first time in the Barclay?
In the Barclays ever.
Whoa. How many people were in attendance for that fight?
It was like 18,000.
Yeah, it was a packed house.
It was packed out.
Yeah.
Oh, he did better than Keith and Danny.
Better than anybody.
I think he holds a record.
It was a record for any boxing event ever at Barclays, and it was the 5th most attended event ever, like just event ever at Barclays.
Yeah,
At Barclay, yeah, because I know Triple G did, him and Lemieux sold a lot of tickets.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
close to 20.
No,
or over.
I'm talking at just Barclays, which obviously is a newer. What do you guys prefer being out there in New York? You got the newer, more youthful venue in Brooklyn, and then you got the historic venue in Manhattan. What do you guys prefer?
I like both. I think the Barclays is a bit more of a boxing venue than Madison Square Garden and the Hulu Theater.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. My personal opinion.
Don't the Nets play there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Barclays a little bit more.
Are you saying like the people that go to the fights there, they're more like boxing people, like the people from Brooklyn, they're more into it than like the crowd you see at the Garden?
Or are you saying that the venue is more known for boxing crowds?
I say the venue is. You could see. I like this. I like the perception that you can. All right, so when you're at the Barclays, you're kind of like looking down on everything, and in Madison Square Garden, it's
a
little
better
bit
view.
harder to see.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a better.
nah, I
it's
think
just
it's a better view.
In
I
MSG,
agree.
you think it's a better view in MSG?
Bro,
100%.
Those $500 tickets that like they're like mid. Yo, you're right looking into the ring. Like people love Madison Square because of that,
Okay, I personally like.
and even the theater. Like
right.
you're in the ring. I feel like the theater is nice too. The way it's set up.
The
'cause
theater
it's-
is nice. The theater is nice. I agree.
So, I think that for boxing, I like both the Gardens better, but I feel that the Barclays is definitely more
appealing.
and I think like bro, like you said theater. The first thing I thought of. Fuck, I gotta walk up all them fucking stairs to go to the concession stand.
Yeah.
That's the
True.
first thing I thought of. I swear to
Agreed.
God.
Agreed.
But it's no different for the Barclay. You got to go up the stairs to get to the bowls.
No, but I'm saying at least the Barclays you have
It's just better, bro. They thought
Yeah.
about it. Like they based it off Madison Square and added what was missing. They got a 40-40 club in that shit. Like that Barclay is lit, man. They got everything in there.
It also has a nicer look when you're approaching it.
Yeah, I
The
just think
aesthetic of it.
The outside, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
because
And that's real grass, you know that.
really
That
yeah
that green.
yeah I didn't know that.
I didn't
know
even know that, and I'm from New York. Jeez.
I didn't know
What?
that.
Nah, I
thought
didn't
that
know
was
Oh,
that, bro.
serious. Earth.
Turf. He said he thought it was turf.
Oh shit. Maybe we should check. I thought it was real grass.
See,
I
that-
swear
that
they
was my
said that
first
because
time.
I've been going so long. I did the tour. I'm gonna Google it.
Bro, yeah,
Okay.
that was my first time. You know, definitely enjoyed Barclays, and Tank brings them out. What do you think is gonna come of that Tank Ryan fight? Because we were talking, and obviously the two crowds that they bring, you bring them together. What do you call it, Ness? A combustion?
Spontaneous combustion.
Spontaneous combustion. See, I think
Yeah. 4-inch deep growing medium. 35,000 using 35,000 trays, bro. That shit is real grass.
Oh wow.
Makes it way more
Oh, wow.
impressive.
That's crazy.
But yeah, what do you think? We'll
Tank and
see.
Garcia.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think that Ness agrees, but I think that fight is bigger than Earl and Bud. I don't think it's a better fight.
Nah.
I think it's a bigger fight.
Bigger
but
fight?
by
I think-
bigger,
Nah,
bigger,
bro.
you mean does better
I
numbers or
think it
more
does-
people come
yeah,
out?
Yeah,
like,
I think it does everything better. Because I think if they wanted to, they could put that in the Raiders stadium. The Raiders have a
Yeah.
small football stadium.
Agreed.
Like in comparison to NFL stadiums, it's small.
Right.
Bro, 62, 63, that's small. 65,000, that's small for a football stadium.
Agreed.
So I think they could do 50 plus there. Done right, I think they could do it at a stadium. I think
I don't even think
as far
Ryan's
as
ever
social
done.
media-
Has Ryan ever done over 15,000 tickets, bro? You kidding
I don't
me?
think so.
I think-
Never.
yeah,
never.
he ain't never fought nobody though.
No, and I get it. They're gonna base it off him maybe doing 12 versus someone we don't know. But
I think the most he did was 14 against Linares, and then he did like 12 against Luke Campbell in San Antonio or wherever in Texas that fight was.
I think he did the 12 versus to go though.
Oh, he did 12 to go as well.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I just think that, it's gonna be the right dance partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, cool. Like I have family that ask me about Ryan all the time, but when they know who Tank is, they've seen that killer on Sports Center. They don't watch boxing, they've seen him on sport, they've seen
Right.
something. So it's like, bro, uncles that don't watch boxing, that don't friends, like they're hitting me up. And I see it, bro. Like I know women who take girls trip for tank fights.
This is
That's
true.
crazy.
This is
Like,
true.
like
This is true.
I legit have pictures with girls I went to high school with in LA from the Tank Pitbull fight. Cause they took a girls trip. Some girls I knew from
I
Atlanta.
never heard of that.
Some girls I knew
Nice.
from Atlanta. They took they came with their guys. It was like a double date thing
Right.
with 4 friends. Bro, come on, vacation to LA for the Tank fight.
It's crazy.
That effect, and I think that's why it'll be bigger than, I think their demographics are demographics that are more on social media.
Right.
So they're going to be tweeting about it, looking it up more, talking about it more. I just think it's going to be bigger overall fight.
Okay.
I mean, they do have bigger social media
Platforms.
presences,
Yeah.
and they're both interact with bigger stars than Terrence and Earl do. Like, Earl knows a couple people. He's been with Jerry Jones and Yella Beezy and things like that. But
Right.
man, Ryan doing GMC commercials, man. Ryan out here doing Gatorade. He's getting some real publicity. Then you got Tank. He's linked with Drake and the OVO and Floyd, even though he's not with them anymore. That association doesn't disappear overnight.
And not just that, but I mean, you go to a Tank fight, you're going to an event.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
Lil
movie.
Baby,
It
Lil
is a movie.
Lil Baby has walked him out now numerous times. He really gets the stars. Like we were just at the Regis fight briefly. And that venue, like the stuff when he fought there, last minute replacement, bro. Drake still came out. Wayne still came out. YBN Corday still came out.
Right.
Odell Beckham still came out. Antonio Brown still came out. Now, was it Grammys weekend in LA? It was, but it's like even more. It's like,
but you still got to take the time to go.
and that's what I was gonna say.
as a-
Grammys weekend, everybody has
Something to
events.
do.
Everybody's throwing a party, an event. So it's like, damn, I'm gonna take time out my day to go, not just from downtown or Hollywood, bro. They going to Carson. That
Right.
ain't, you feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like Tank and Ryan together.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something different.
I say I go with the Bud and Spence fight just because. One, I don't give Ryan any, with all respect to Ryan, I don't give him any shot to beat Tank. Like it's a dead issue for that.
Yep.
But with Bud and Spence, regardless who wins or lose, you still want to see it again because they're still going to be elite fighters, win or lose. You know what I'm saying? So you have more of like a trilogy with them than as opposed to Ryan Garcia and Tank. Once you see that fight, you're not going to want to see it again.
Unless Ryan does the unthinkable, and I'm with you.
True,
It's true.
Because it's almost like wanting to see Tank and Rolly again. You don't want to see that again. Respect to Rolly. I like Rolly, but
And you do have a great point. Like I don't believe I'm gonna want to see Tank and Ryan because I think Tank wins easily. But bro, there's Devin thing. He's like, bro, it's not gonna be an easy fight for Tank at all. Like,
Yeah, but that's because Devin lost to him 3 times. Tank ain't lose to
No,
Ryan.
and that's what he's saying. Like he's
Wait,
been
Devin
in the,
lost to Ryan
in the
Three times?
amateurs. In the amateurs,
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, 3 each.
they each won 3.
each.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and that's what I'm saying. He's been in the ring with him. He's like, yo, like he hasn't fought anybody to prove himself, but Ryan is a really good boxer.
But that's the thing, though. Tank and people like me who are Tank fans, we don't want to hear none of that shit. We know Tank got that crazy power. So it's like, yeah, Devin had a tight time because Devin don't punch like Tank. Once Tank hit Ryan, my man, on that back foot, he out. Like. But fellas, man, I don't want to keep you too long. Do you have any other fights or anything you want to bring up? If not, jewelry, where the people could buy and
Reach out.
social media,
Yep.
in case they want to DM and maybe,
Yeah.
So-
Find us at Brakar by Silva on IG. BRAKARBYSILVA. You can hit up Brandon.
It's Brakar the Jeweler. Brakar the Jeweler.
And then mine is Mike the Jeweler. MikeDajeeler NYC. All right. Thank you for having us.
No, man, thank you
I watch
for
you guys
coming
all
in.
the time, so it was
Appreciate it, man. We definitely appreciate you guys stopping by. And we do appreciate, I do anyway, because this is the only sport I watch. Unlike him, he watches other things. I
Yeah.
mean, my man's even watching cricket now. So I appreciate you getting involved with the sport
All I said-
and making our fighters fly.
All I said was during the pandemic, cricket was one of the first sports to pick back up. And I happened to be in the Middle East during that time, and I was with a lot of Indians that watch cricket, and I definitely sat my ass down to watch a few cricket matches.
okay. All right.
You know, but no, I watch it all.
And now he likes
Okay.
NASCAR.
No,
So
no, don't be disrespectful.
Are you guys football fans?
Formula One? I am.
Okay. Who do you like?
I'm a Bears fan, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm a Ravens fan.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a Bears fan, man, and but I watch it all, man. I'm a fucking degenerate. I'm a degenerate.
Okay. All right.
So I legit watch it all.
I'm a huge NFL college football guy. I don't really have a favorite college football team. I just pick whoever I think is going to be good in certain years. Shout out to UNLV, Ricky White. They just beat their rival.
Yeah, brought the cannon home.
Yeah. Other than that, I would like to say look out for my boy Truck Simpson, Lorenzo Truck Simpson, coming in that middleweight.
Yeah, no, we know Truck very
very
well.
well,
well,
very well around
You
these
did something
parts.
for him too?
We're working on something right now. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, no, shout out to Truck,
But
man.
I personally think like he can be pound for pound one day. In my personal opinion. I
No,
think so.
definitely, man.
I've heard a lot of good things about him. You know, he
And-
just
And motherfuckers are scared to fight him. Motherfuckers are scared to fight him.
Yeah, we
bro.
just got to see him stay active. You know, we definitely have to see Truck active. But I've seen him in the gym enough to know that he's a special talent. So
Oh, one quick question. What do you guys think about Chris Colbert and Frank Martin?
well, it ain't
it
happening.
ain't
about that
happening. It ain't happening. Michelle Rivera took that spot.
Okay. If it was to happen, hypothetically, who do you think will win that fight? If Chris goes up to 135?
I wanted to hope that Chris could get the win, but he did underestimate Hector Garcia and went down off the punch. Frank is considered a puncher.
Yeah, he's a
so
big
it
guy.
was a fight to watch to see.
I didn't really like the fight, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't like him moving
because
up
it's
just
like-
to prove a point.
Right, it's like you're coming off a loss,
Right.
loss that nobody saw you taking, right, or expected you to take. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
and it's like you moving up to beat somebody who hasn't accomplished anything isn't gonna do anything for your career.
Yeah.
like Ness said, it would have just been to prove a point.
Right.
But yeah, I would have liked to believe that he could have outboxed Frank, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll see now. Frank is fighting here in Vegas December 17th against Michelle Rivera. So
Can't wait to see that.
it'll be his biggest step up. So definitely a good barometer for down the line, if anything.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.